Welcome to the program, and we talked about Paul having been with Saturday Night Live years and years ago. What year was it, Paul? 72?
75, through 80, yeah.
Yes. And how long have you been with the show?
This is my 4th season.
4th season. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It takes about 4 seasons for people to notice that you're on.
Right. You mean people in the other cast members?
Oh, yeah, other cast members. People are finally remembering my name.
But as you're walking around now, they recognize you and they associate you with, is that how it works?
Well, sometimes they get confused as to what they know me from, so they just throw out TV shows and hope one of them sticks. And they'll just be like, The Swan, America's Most Wanted.
The Swan.
How do I know you?
The Swan. Excellent choice. And you're not from here, I'm guessing, right?
No, I'm from Burlington, Massachusetts, which is right outside of Boston.
And what brought you to New York City?
Well, I moved here about, 10 years ago, and I used to perform in Chicago. Yeah. Yay. And I wanted to act and perform here, and I had some pretty rough times when I first got here.
Well, that's the way it's supposed to be, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. How rough were they?
Well, they were so rough now. That one time I was walking my dog, and he was doing his business.
What does that
I may
mean?
say. He was taking a crap on the street.
I see. Okay, yeah.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, now I understand.
I wanted to make it smooth, but
Thank you.
I'll just speak plainly. Excuse me, Dave.
That's fine.
And one time, it was early on when I first moved to New York. I was really broke and really depressed. And my dog was taking a crap on the street. And a car drove by. It was filled with a bunch of young guys with French accents.
Oh, French accents. Punks. French punks.
French punks.
Yeah.
The city is littered with them.
Yeah.
And they started making fun of me and my dog and the fact that I had to stand there and watch it. So I did what any person would do. I scooped up the dog crap and I threw it in their car and ran away.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It made me feel better.
What about spring in New York City? It's great, isn't it, being here in
Great
springtime?
weather, so exciting.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about New York is spring is window washing season for a lot of people that don't know.
I guess, no, that's right. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I live in a high-rise in New York City. And recently, I was working on SNL, and we have kind of a hard hours, late hours. So every once in a while, I have to take a little half a sleeping pill, maybe to go to bed, or to do an interview. And whatever it takes.
Sure, I understand.
Whatever it takes. we all have our ways.
Yeah.
And so recently, I took my sleeping pill, took a shower, kind of stumbled out of the shower, and fell right on the top of my covers, naked, went to sleep.
Wow.
I know what you're thinking. So.
Well, no, you don't know what I'm thinking. What do you think I'm thinking?
Well, it's a window washing.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't thinking of that.
Season.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep. The blinds were down in my apartment, and the lights were out. And my husband is really excited about our blinds. They're those kind of fancy automated things that go up real slow. Wow. You know what I mean? You push a button, and it's really great.
Yeah. And wait a minute. When did they go up slow?
Well, the cool thing is he hooked it up to our alarm clock. So when the alarm clock goes off, the lights and the blinds go up real slow to wake you up gently.
This guy's a genius.
He's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Wow.
Yeah.
to the alarm, like the clock radio, and then the
I'm
blinds.
married to my super. Yeah. He's great. He's real handy. So he hooked it up to the alarm clock, but it goes up so slow often that I don't wake up.
Imperceptible.
It's too gentle. And I was on about a half a sleeping pill. So the blinds went up slowly. I woke up 2 hours later to find that the window washers had been outside my window for like 2 hours.
What?
And they were treated to a really boring, slow peep show with an unconscious woman. And we made eye contact when I woke up, and the gentleman I don't think was a fan of my work. Or my works.
Then how did we call an end to this?
We just kind of politely waved, and then I put the blankets over my head and I laughed for like 25 minutes.
I like that story. Tell us about this. I hope I didn't oversell it, but something lovely and exciting.
Very exciting. Well, I met President Obama. I got to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which is a fun kind of dinner where the president gets to tell jokes. And we were lucky to be invited, and certainly so incredibly pleased that we got to go.
Now, when you say we, who are we talking about?
My husband and I.
Yeah, that's it. And your husband, what is his name?
Will Arnett.
And, Will Arnett,
yes,
sure,
yes.
yeah.
And he was my plus one. Or I was his. And so we get there, and we're lucky enough to be told that there's going to be a little audience before the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We may actually get to meet President Obama,
great.
which a thrill. And so the room is filled with, all these smart, interesting people and famous people. And so we're there, and and just there's a small kind of room, and he's going to kind of walk through before he goes to dinner. And if you're lucky, you're going to get to meet him. Right. So I have a little bit of social anxiety and tend to not do so great in crowds. And so my choice is I figure I'm just going to kind of hang in the back.
Right.
And as if, the president will be like, it's nice to meet you, but who's that girl ignoring me? So that doesn't work. So I have to kind of make my way up there, and I stand next to him, and I have that terrible moment, when you're just trying to that kind of high school moment when you want to talk to somebody and you're really nervous and you're lurking. Right. I was lurking.
Sure.
So I tug on his sleeve, and because I'm so short, I was just a tug on his, and
you're tugging on the sleeve of the president? Is that what you said?
I did a little tug, a safe tug.
Yeah.
A tug, but I said, and I think I said something I was like, excuse me. I don't even know what I said. I was so nervous. And he was like, I'll be right with you. And I know, and I felt filled with shame. I was like, I got caught trying. So anyway, he was generous, lovely, so nice, said hello. I meant to say great job, and I said something like, great Krog, Mr. Hackerton.
Great Krog.
Great Krog, Mr. Hackerton.
Yeah.
Anyway, so unbelievable. Next day, go to the West Wing. We get a tour of the West Wing, terrific. And our tour guide is amazing. I always feel bad for tour guides. I want them to feel good about their tour, so I ask a lot of questions. So,
sure.
Wow, this is really an Oval Office. This is where look how oval it is. You were right. So we're there, and I say to the tour guide, is there ever a chance when you're touring the West Wing that the president is there? And he says, absolutely not. If the president was here, this place would be shut down. Sure. You guys wouldn't be here. 2 minutes later, out of just a little door, walks in the president in shorts.
Wow.
Shorts.
Wow.
Presidential shorts. And he had been playing basketball or something. It was Mother's Day. And he comes in, and now suddenly I've gone from a room of 200 sweaty celebrities to just 5 or 6 of us. And so I try to get some cool points. So I say, hey, great job last night, Mr. President. You did really well. And he goes, oh, really, Amy? He knows my name.
Oh.
Yes, thank you. He says, Amy, you think I did a good job? I said, yeah, your jokes were great. Great delivery, great material. And he was like, all right. And he just leaned over and he gave me a fist.
Whoa.
Thank you. It was exciting.
Pretty nice.
So, it was really exciting. And then my husband and I did that thing when really exciting things happen where you just pretend like you're really cool. And then the whole time you're like, did that really happen? Did I really give
So in one 24-hour period, you went from being presidential nuisance.
Sleeve tugger to one of those.
Yeah, buddy, that's good. You work in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And since you've had 2 children.
Yes, I have.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How's it? Double it up.
Doubling up.
And you're back now in New York City?
I'm back. I'm so happy to be back.
You like New York?
I love it. It's my home.
Yeah.
And just last night, I was in a cab, and you get a little cushy in LA. Everyone's kind of nice, and they're all in the business and everything. And I got in a cab, and the driver said, "Oh, are you from New York?" And I said, "Yeah, I live here, but I haven't been here in a while. I've been in LA." And he goes, "Oh, are you an actress?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm on a show on NBC." And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
Sorry to
I was
hear
like,
that.
I'm home.
Now, when you there's like you and your husband, and then the two
Right.
kids. That's 4. Oh my gosh!
Right.
And now that's a lot to move. That's like a Ringling Brothers kind of a deal.
Yeah.
Did you bring the kids in?
I didn't. I'm just here for a few days, and I traveled on my own.
Yeah. What's that
And
like?
it's like, I feel like Angelina Jolie in The Tourist. When you are not with your children, you just feel like you're like walking through the airport in a trench coat, sipping espresso and peering at people over magazines. It's great. Traveling with 2 kids under 2 is very difficult, and everyone's been on a plane where kids have been melting down.
Yeah.
Yes. When they're your children, it's very difficult. And I was just on a flight recently, and both of my guys were just having a hard time at once. And a lady across the aisle from me leaned in and said, "Wow, you really can't catch a break, can you?"
Whoa.
Yeah. And then I thought for a second, and then I just said, "Well, you know, they're my kids, so I have to love them. But it looks like you're the one who's screwed."
Well, that's the important thing in life, to remind people that they're screwed. I haven't been in California in a long time, but the last time I was there, no point in renting a car because you're not getting out of the airport parking lot.
For sure.
The traffic is crazy. You don't drive in that mess, do you?
I do, and I've discovered I have a lot of road rage, like just right here, ready to go.
Because in New York, probably no driving.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
really?
when you're walking in New York, and you know, when you're walking, the pedestrian is king in New York.
Yes, that's right.
So you're always like, slow down, relax, buddy. You know, when someone's trying to take a left turn. And LA, the minute something happens, I just go bananas, and I have to work on it because I have 2 children in my back seat now. But it's hard. I have, like when someone does this, when you have an altercation or someone doesn't like the way you're driving or something happens and someone goes like this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I go so Boston, I get crazy.
You go Boston.
I go really Boston, and I go crazy. And I have thrown the double finger with my children in the car.
With the kids in the car.
I'm not proud of it.
There you go. Mother of the Year. Wow.
I was like, can't say that. I'm sorry, you'll cut that out. Very satisfying to do, though.
Yeah, I would think so.
But you know what is also satisfying is to find a word that's very, very aggressive without being a swear word, because you know you try not to swear in front of your children.
Sure.
So I find that man, woman, old, young, if you call someone sweetheart, it makes them really mad. So you just go ahead, sweetheart.
It just is so demeaning in
So
a
demeaning.
variety of ways. Yeah.
Everybody hates it.
How are the kids doing, by the way?
They're great. They're 3 and almost 2. They're giants. They're like giant
Are they
boys.
big kids?
Yeah. I used to see people like new mothers walking around with their newborns in slings and like buying organic coffee and their baby was in their pocket.
Right.
And my guys were like 25 pounds in like a month. They're going to
that's
be
good.
as tall as me by the time they're in 5th grade.
I think you want large, hardy kids. I think you really do.
I like it. They sleep well.
Yeah.
They're easy to, you know, when they fall down, they get up. There's more padding.
Did you ever try one of those, I think they called them Baby Bjorn?
I did. I tried it for literally one day, and I put my boy in it, and I was like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I tried, I'm exactly like you. I tried it for one day, and I never knew whether it was supposed to go on the back or the front.
Well, people kind of brag like you can do both, and I don't know
You
if
can
you've
do both?
ever seen anyone rock both of them, but they look like real ass.
Yeah.
But they're using their own babies to balance themselves. But my 3.5-year-old right now is kind of turning into like a possessive husband a little bit. He knows when I'm going out because if I'm dressed up or if I have shoes on. And he'll just kind of, like today, when I was dressed up to come here, he said, where are you going? I said, I'm going out. And he said, with who?
Really?
I said, I'm going to see some friends. I didn't want to tell him
Yeah,
about
of course, no. No, why?
I didn't want to confuse him.
Oh, no.
I didn't want to confuse
Keep
him.
it from, I think that's smart.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, put on a coat. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
That's very nice.
I was like, what, read? You're 3. Thank you.
Yeah. You have two sons?
I have 2 boys.
2 years old.
4 and 2. And,
What are their names?
Archie is the 4-year-old, and Abel is the little
name, Archie
giant,
and
the
Abel.
redheaded giant. And Archie is turning into such a compassionate boy, and he's a lovely, kind kid. And the other day he came up to me while I was getting changed, and he put his hands on my shoulders and said, "Mama, I'm so sorry you don't have a penis."
Wow.
Isn't it nice?
Wow.
Thank you. And then he paused, and then he said, "But did you have one and break it?" Which I thought was his way of finding out if I was to have one, would I have taken good care of it, basically.
I've heard you take good care of them. Believe me, I think we've all heard of.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now,
yes.
that's interesting. And my son is 9.
Right.
He and I have never had that conversation.
Well, that's right, because Dave, you have a
well,
penis.
yeah.
You know, I would hope that he's never asked you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've never had that conversation.
Yeah, you're right. Well, there you go.
I think he feels kind of bad for me. But yeah, and now they're getting into this thing where you can use Santa to bribe them and to make them do things.
Now, is that a good idea, do you think?
It is a good idea. It is a good idea. And there's an app where you can have Santa Claus call, like you can pretend like Santa Claus is calling, and you show the phone, and it's like this North Pole, Santa Claus is calling.
Yeah.
And then you can, if they're acting badly, you can take the call, and you can do a very elaborate, like Bob Newhart style fake phone call where you pretend to talk to Santa, and you either say, "Santa, you're right, I think the deal's off. I don't think you should come."
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Well, I don't do that. I think
No, you don't do
could
that. That's what you're saying. You don't do that.
I don't do
I
that.
see.
What
okay.
I do is I plead their case. Like I say, "No, Santa, they're great kids. Listen to me. Give them another chance." And they just
Good
go,
cop,
"Thanks, you
bad
did it."
cop,
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, I can see where some people might really abuse that and crush the spirit of the little kids.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
the life goes by so quickly, and there's so little magic in life.
Right.
And what we have here is this, and you've now found a way to just peel back the layer of fantasy and bare the ugly, sinewy side of reality.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I saw where you had the Vice President of the United States on.
That's
By
right.
the way, 70 years old. How about that? Joe
Yeah, he
Biden is
looks
70 years old.
terrific.
Looks fantastic.
He looks great.
What was it? Did you have to go? Did he come to
We went to him.
really? You had to go to
we went
Washington?
to Washington, and which was really great to. I mean, Washington is filled with so many young, educated people doing the work I hate doing, which is remembering people's names and returning phone calls and he was so lovely and so game. And my character, Leslie Knope, on Parks and Recreation, is in love with Joe Biden, and he's her ultimate fantasy. She says often that she wishes she could find a guy with the brains of George Clooney and the body of Joe Biden. So when she meets him, she freaks out, and
Yeah.
and I was really excited to meet him as well. And so we did a couple takes, and at the very end, just for the heck of it, I just went in for a kiss.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how did that? What happened there?
He was so great, and I think he's used to a lot of crazy people because he just kind of handled it really, really. You learn a lot about yourself and the other person when you go in for a kiss.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, but is the Vice President the guy you want teaching you that lesson about yourself? Because now is he bound by being a public servant to comply, or did he?
Yes. If the president is not there to kiss me, he has to kiss me.
The Vice President actually.
President
See,
has to.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
A little known
And a lot of people don't
constitutional
know
point. All right, let's take a look at the clip.
Oh, I thought you were going to go in for a kiss. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
There, take that.
Okay.
Okay is right. Yeah. I'll tell that to your little buddies back there at NBC. Let's run down the current cast, and we'll just
Okay.
a brief comment on each one of them.
Okay, I'll do word association. I'll give you one word. I'm supposed to say their names?
Oh, no, I don't care. However you want to do it.
Okay, let's see. The two beautiful, wonderful people that left us early, Rob Lowe, Rashida Jones, the best. Nick Offerman, terrific, huge talent. Chris Pratt, saving the world one day at a time. Aubrey Plaza, beautiful genius. Adam Scott, my sexy TV husband. Aziz Ansari, Retta, Jim O'Hare.
It's a fantastic cast.
Yes.
I mean, you put all of those people together, you could have a show. You know what I mean?
You really could.
Yeah, you really could. But I was looking at, I had something to say. I forget what I was going to say. Something about one of them that was, run through the names again.
Okay. It's Rashida, Rob, Aziz, Offerman, Nick, Pratt, Aubrey, Adam, Retta, Jim O'Hare, George Clooney. I don't know who you're thinking of.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm also like panicking that I'm forgetting somebody.
No,
Have I
everybody's
forgotten
good.
anybody? Okay.
But Nick Offerman, what a
Yes,
guy.
what a
Nick
guy.
Offerman. Yeah, and Adam Scott, you
Yes.
see him in a lot of great things.
He's a terrific actor.
And oh, wait, here's what it is.
Yes.
The one that I remember, Aubrey.
Yes.
I always remember because she is a recovered stroke victim.
Yes, that's right. Probably how she wants to be referred to.
But I mean,
Probably. Probably the headline she wants.
but you know, she's been on the show
Yes,
many times, and we've talked about
Yes,
it.
she's an amazing
Yeah,
actress.
but she had a stroke when she was like 22 or something.
That's right, and it gave her comedic powers. And now she can read minds and see through walls.
But I mean, I'd be worried if I. Maybe we shouldn't even talk about this.
Yeah.
Because it's her last. It's going to be very emotional.
It is, and you know, I have to say I'm not very good with endings, so I fear that I'm gonna misbehave a little bit at the ending. Like I do have these fantasies where I just tell everybody what I really think of them and then hit on the camera department and then light the set on fire. But I think it will be nice.
That would be great, though.
Wouldn't
Do
it?
that.
Wouldn't it be great?
But now you have this
love
lovely family that you've worked
Yes.
with at some cost because you can't really do anything else when you get a show like that. What do you want to do after? And people are always saying to me, "Oh gosh, Dave, what are you gonna do now?" I'll be at Costco. That's where I'll be. But what do you think?
Well, I mean, you can probably not imagine jumping into anything else, right? It just probably
It's been
is
what I've done all my
exhausting.
life.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to take a little time and digest this great experience, and then, you know, what's turning me on lately is producing and writing and directing more. So I'm going to do that.
You know, what's good is when you and Tina Fey do stuff together.
Yes, we like to do stuff together. Thank you. Thank you.
I think the world of Tina Fey, but
Yes.
it's clear that you're the funnier of the two.
Thank you.